Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our new distributor orientation and training. My name is Gregory Mascari, and my wife, Robin, and I are very excited to be senior presidential directors with LifeWave. We've been with the company a little over 2 years, but together we have over 50 years of full-time experience in network marketing. We love this profession, and we have found a home with LifeWave. So I'm looking forward to sharing a little time with you this morning and going over our Getting Started Guide. Ideally, you're sitting in a comfortable place and you have a copy of the Getting Started Guide in front of you to make notes upon. And if not, you may want to pause this recording and come back to it when you have it in front of you. And so the Getting Started Guide is a chief cornerstone in getting your new LifeWave business up and rolling. It's chock full of information. It's kind of a self-study guide, so you don't really need me to go through it with you, but I'm going to do that anyway. There's going to be a quick overview, but I really suggest that after this overview, you come back and do a page-by-page review. You know, make notes and write where you have questions, and then get with your enroller or one of your upline leaders. Get those questions answered so you really feel confident and competent in your new business. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and bring up the Getting Started Guide. And there it is. This is our Getting Started Guidebook, and it's based on our simple 4-step proven plan of action that is basically prepare, share, care, and enroll. I also like to equate that with the law of the farm. Prepare the soil, plant the seeds, follow up and water, caring for your garden. And if you do enough sharing and caring, you're going to have a harvest, and that's the enrollment process. So I do believe if you'll practice, learn, and teach these 4 simple action steps, success can truly be yours. And we've found over the years that success is not magical, it's mathematical. You're going to have to work through the numbers, but the numbers will then work. So welcome to LifeWave. If you're brand new, you've made a decision to join a wonderful business. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. We're building a beautiful community. We call it our Live Younger community. And, we together with LifeWave are providing many of the tools that you need to succeed. We call it our success system. It includes our conference calls, our webinars, Facebook groups, our training website, Nitty Gritty 101, various events and weekly activities that we do. And I've found over the years that systems easily duplicate, people do not. So that's why we've created the Live Younger success system. And the guide is our primary cornerstone of the success system. It's really the result of hundreds of years of the collective experience and wisdom of many of the top industry earners and professionals I've been blessed to work with. And it's based on the simple 4-step proven plan of action. Prepare, the first step in success. Share, the products in the business. That's where the rubber meets the road. Caring, and that's really our motto for follow-up. And we say the fortune and the friendship is in the follow-up. And enrolling new customers and distributors. The guidebook goes into a little bit of detail on each of these 4 steps. So we encourage you and those who have joined your team to plug into our simple, duplicatable, Live Younger success system, use the tools, and success can truly be yours. So let's just jump into the first step in success. And this is the longest section of the guidebook. And sometimes getting out there in the springtime when it's time to plant your garden and preparing that soil is the biggest part of the work, and tilling the soil and getting ready. It doesn't have to be that big a job though. So the first step is getting clear on your reasons why, because we know that everybody doesn't start for the same reasons because everybody's needs, wants, dreams, and aspirations aren't the same. It's really important you get clear on what you want out of your business. So I challenge you to fill out this little section here, get very clear on it. And here's a hot tip. Once you're clear on your reasons for joining, I encourage you to share that with your upline support team so they can better understand you and how to support you. And so meet your upline support team. These are folks that have a vested interest in your success. Get to know who they are. Don't be bashful. Reach out and touch someone and let it be someone in your upline. Just tell them who you are and you're very excited and your level of commitment. There's a concept we'll talk about in a few minutes called match commitment. And it's really important to let your upline know how serious and committed you are to the business so they're able to support you properly. So the next thing you'll find on the next page is our Getting Started checklist. And this looks a little daunting, but it's really not. There's only a few very important things here, and there's some other, good stuff to know. And the first thing you want to do is learn and practice our 4-step proven plan of action. We talked about that: prepare, share, care, and enroll. Right now, I'd encourage you, if you're brand new, here's 4 things you need to do. You need to download the Live Younger the LifeWave In Touch app. It's a powerful and free marketing tool that we're all using to build our business. And then go to Nitty Gritty. If you haven't already done this, download the Getting Started Guide, okay? And then watch, the Getting Started training. And that's what you're doing right now, the orientation and training. After that, after this is over, after you're done listening, set a Getting Started training session with your upline sponsor. They are there to support you and answer all your questions. And then you can move on. You can explore your websites. We've got some really cool websites that come, with your business. You can start contacting, inviting, and gifting people right away. If you just stopped right here and just started contacting people, invite them to watch the videos with the In Touch app, and maybe offer gifting samples, because we find when you offer somebody a sample, they always say yes. And we always request them to watch the video before we send them a sample. It's kind of like a little hook that gets everybody tracking and beginning their evaluation process. We also encourage you to subscribe to our newsletters and text reminders. We have a lot of valuable events and communication going out, and you should just plug in again to the community and the opportunity. And it's an ongoing, team sport and training process. In your first 7 days, there's a few other things you should also consider doing, is plugging into some of our webinars, and there's some for distributors, there's some are great for guests, there's some optional for distributors and guests. Plug in when you can. We don't expect anybody or everybody to plug into all of them, but there's some that you should. And it starts with the Monday evening community call and training. If you can't attend live, listen to the replay. So, and then, explore your back office. You got a wonderful back office. As my wife, Robin, likes to say, become a happy clicker. You can't break anything. And this is your new business portal. So get in there and have some fun. And then, meet your monthly volume qualifications. Really important you understand how to meet your monthly volume qualifications so your volume starts accumulating, okay? And that's one of the beauties of our compensation plan, is even if you didn't make very much, this week, the extra volume will accumulate towards next week. So there's various ways that you can maintain your monthly volume requirements outlined clearly here on page 5 in the Getting Started Guide. And then we invite you to join our private Facebook groups. We've got one which is a distributor only. It's our Live Younger community, and we love you to plug in there. And that's where we communicate with each other, and we answer questions and we make announcements. It's really important you're plugged in. And we also have a Vibrant Living Facebook group, which is really potent for prospects and customers. And if you just go there, there's an orientation video that'll tell you all about it. And then, of course, we invite you to learn about our stem cell guru, if you will, our brilliant scientist, inventor, and CEO, David Schmidt. The more you get to know David, the more you're going to love him, and the more you're going to love and appreciate our business and the scientific breakthroughs he's bringing to the world through LifeWave and through us. So we're in partnership with David, and just an amazing individual. There's plenty of videos, available for you to watch and learn. You need to learn some of the basics of the compensation plan, but you surely don't need to memorize it. As I like to say, people, if you work real hard, you're going to make a lot of money. Now, there's some fine points in there, and we've created a simple 3-phase of the comp plan document. It's in the appendix. It's also in the compensation plan section of Nitty Gritty 101, and it explains the 3 phases. It's only a page and a half long versus a 22-page comp plan explanation document. And then there's a compensation plan enhancement chart that visually on one page kind of gives you a really potent overview of the opportunity. And then again, there's several compensation plan videos you can watch and learn more about it. Now, we've tried to make all the information we have easily accessible. So, we have a lot of quick access URLs that just breeze through them, and some are going to be very valuable for you. Probably the most important one for you in the beginning is Nitty Gritty 101. That's our dream training site. And where can you download the Getting Started Guide? It's Live Younger, gettingstartedguide.com. And where can you listen to this 40-minute business overview and orientation? It's liveyounger.gettingstarted.com. So these links you can send to new people in your group, in an email, in a text message, and help them to get plugged in to our Live Younger success system. The next page is a new page that we just recently added to the guidebook. It's what we call the ABCs of the business: attitude, belief, and commitment. And, most of the guide we're talking about here is skill set, but this section here, this page here is really mindset. And, as far as an attitude, do you have one that's worth catching? And I love this quote by W. Clement Stone, who's the father of the PMA movement, the positive mental attitude movement. He says there's little difference in people, but that little difference makes a big difference. And the little difference is attitude, and the big difference is if it's positive or negative. So what is your attitude? Do you have one that's worth catching? And then beliefs. Beliefs speak louder than words, and belief is the substance that turns your dreams into reality. In this business, you must develop a well-founded belief in 4 important areas. And that's belief in the industry, belief in the company, belief in the products, and belief in yourself. And I'll challenge you to go back to your Getting Started guide, spend a few minutes and contemplate each of these sections. And on a 1 to 10 scale, rate yourself, 1 being very low belief, 10 being rock solid, nothing could shake me. Rate yourself in each of these 4 areas. And that's something you're going to want to share with your sponsor and your upline support team. Because if there's an area that you're below 7 or 8, that's an area that they can direct you to where you can get more information to bolster up your beliefs. So in every area, you're at least 7 or 8, moving on to 10 in all 4 of those. And we're here to help you. And a favorite Napoleon Hill quote: what the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. So belief is so important. And the last is commitment. Are you willing to do whatever it takes? That's one of my keys to success. Is when I got in network marketing, I couldn't afford to quit. I just sold my manufacturing business for the deal that sounded too good to be true, turned out to be so, and went from litigation into liquidation. Let's start a new life in network marketing. Fell into my lap. It was an answer to a prayer, really. And I've never looked back. And that was 32 years ago. So I love this profession and I love LifeWave. As I said, Robin and I have certainly found a home with LifeWave, as many other tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of other people have. So commitment, are you willing to do whatever it takes? And I'd encourage you to make a commitment that you're willing to do whatever it takes. And the other thing I just suggest, just be here a year from now. Go through the process. The fruits of success are really reserved for those that persist and keep their commitments. Life's greatest rewards are earned by those who demonstrate the determination to act and achieve their goals. So hold on a second. We've got somebody we're getting some crosstalk here, and I don't know how that's possible, who the other panelist is. Oh, it's my wife. Let me mute her. There we go. Sorry about that. All in the family, right? She's at a Pilates studio, and I'm here doing the training, and she wanted to listen. So I love her. Okay, so number 5, set goals for your new business. And goals do 3 important things. They help you turn your dreams into reality. They help you turn things to do, things you want into things to do, and they help you measure your progress. So we've kind of isolated down to 4 different types of goals: income goals, time and investment goals, activity goals, and achievement goals. So your income goals: how much do you want to make in your first 90 days? When do you want to see a comma in your monthly income? And a comma in your monthly income means you've made over $1,000 in 1 month, over a 4-week period. We get paid weekly. That means you're going to be making over when do you expect or want to be making $250 or more per week, which you put a comma in your monthly check. That's $12,000 a year, folks. That's a significant enhancement to the average American income. And maybe you want to continue pushing forward when you want to see a comma in that weekly check. We have lots and lots of people with commas in their weekly check. That means they're making over $1,000 a week. And what's the ultimate income you'd like to make? Are you looking this as a part-time supplementary income, a savings for retirement, maybe additional income, put your kids through college? Maybe it's a career and replacement income. It's important to get clear on that. So that's what you want out of the business. Now I'm going to ask you, what are you willing to put into business to get that? That's your time and investment goals. How many hours a day? How many hours a week? What kind of initial investment? What kind of monthly investment? This is a business. Sometimes you got to spend a little money to make a lot of money. And that's the nature of network marketing. That's what I love about it. When I was in manufacturing, I spent a lot of money to make a little money. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in equipment to make tens of thousands of dollars. Here, Robin and I have invested maybe tens of thousands of dollars to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I mean, that's because we're reinvesting every month. We're buying extra product, we're gifting, we're sampling, we're sharing. So consider what you're willing to put into the business, time and income investment. And then activity goals. These are the things that we all do day in, day out. We're going to talk about our daily method of operation in a few minutes, but it's daily new contacts, it's daily samples, it's follow-up calls. What's your goal for weekly new customers? Are you going to get 1, 2 customers a week? What's your goal for new distributors? Are you going to get 1 a week, 2 a month, or what's your goal? And how many of our weekly calls and webinars are you going to plug into? So that's activity goals, okay? And then let's talk just briefly about achievement goals. And there's 2 types of achievement. We have starter kits and upgrade kits, and you can move through the bronze to the silver to the gold to diamond, platinum. And then we have achievement ranks, are based on the size and success of your organization. So if you're brand new, your goal should be set on becoming a manager. That's the first major accomplishment in our compensation plan and rank achievement as manager. Then it's director, then it's senior director. So you can go over all of this. This will be contained information about this in the compensation plan, videos and such, and something you can go over with your sponsor or one of your upline leaders and set some realistic target dates when you want to move. If you came in at bronze, silver, or gold, when do you want to upgrade or move on to platinum or diamond? And when are you planning to achieve manager, director, and senior director? So those are achievement goals. And the last part of the prepare process is developing your contact list. Your greatest asset is the people you know. And, we have products and a business can change people's lives. So we've broken this down into like the top 40 list. Who are 10 friends and family you could share X39 with? Who are the 10 sharpest, most entrepreneurial and influential people something I learned a long time ago, all no's are equal, but all yeses are not. So when you get someone who's very influential, has a large sphere of influence joining your business, it can change your life. And, 10 health conscious people and families, and 10 people with sales, with experience in network marketing and direct sales. So this is just a starting block. And nowadays, in the old days, we used to use a memory jogger and, but nowadays I just suggest people, start with your cell phone. Everybody, almost everybody has hundreds of people in your cell phone. And that's a good way to just scroll through your contact list, and start physically writing in this page, in your Getting Started Guide, your top 40 list. And then we can begin the next step of the program, which is sharing the products in the business. And this is really where the rubber meets the road. And we're in the sharing and caring. We're really not in the telling and selling business. Some people say, well, I can never do that because I don't like to sell. Well, you don't have to sell. You share enough information with people, they'll make their own decision. So, I want to talk just briefly about our sharing tools and the concept of letting the tools do the talking. You don't have to learn or memorize hardly anything. All you need to know is where to point people to get enough information to make an informed decision. Now, Nitty Gritty 101 will give you a lot of clues, tips, and trainings about that. I really encourage you after this orientation to go into Nitty Gritty 101 and spend some time there and go back regularly. Click around, as I say, become a happy clicker with your own LifeWay websites and become a happy clicker in Nitty Gritty 101. But two of the most important tools we are the LifeWave InTouch app. If you haven't already downloaded it, do so quickly. And our X39 sample cards or the Gift of Good Health flyer. And we'll explain that in just a moment when I go over our daily method of operation. There's a lot of other wonderful tools. Just become familiar with the tools that you have at your disposal and know which one to give to who when. That's the magic of the, it's like fishing, knowing which fly to use at what time of day, what time of season, it's going to give you the best results. I live in Montana, so we use the fly fishing analogy a lot. So let's talk about our simple daily method of operation. And it's very simple. Initially, you want to connect with people heart to heart. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. You show them you care by connecting with them. And your job is to interrupt them long enough to make them aware about something they should be interested in, which is our historic breakthrough in affordable stem cells. So you initially connect with them, and then your job is to pique their interest. And there are two ways to pique their interest, really. Mentioning we have a historic breakthrough in affordable stem cell technology. And nowadays, most people know stem cells are the leading edge of health sciences, and most people know it's very expensive. And when you say a breakthrough in affordable stem cell technology, that's what got Robin and I into business. When Kai Jacobson called us and told us that LifeWave had just launched this new stem cell activation technology and it was very inexpensive, he didn't have to say any more. He didn't have to send a video. He didn't have to send a sample. Robin just says, how do I get it? And she placed an order that day, and the rest, as they say, is history. She put that X39 in the back of her neck, and 7 days later, her knee that had been bone on bone for almost 20 years stopped hurting. Go figure. So, and that's where success stories come in. So those are the two ways we pique people's interest. We talk about our affordable breakthrough in stem cell technology, or maybe we tell relevant stories to that person if they're dealing with some of the symptoms of the aging process. We all, often like to say, are you experiencing any of the symptoms of the aging process? And everybody kind of chuckles. And then you can offer them a sample because almost everyone says yes. And then say, okay, great, I'd be happy to send you a sample. But first, I'm going to send you a video to watch that'll tell you a little bit more about it. And if it really piques your interest, I'd be happy to send you a sample. The beauty of the InTouch system, when they do watch it, you get an alert. And so you know when they're watching it. And if you don't get an alert, you know that they didn't watch it. So maybe you need to call them and resend. But once they've watched it, it's time to follow up and take the appropriate next steps. And those next steps might be remind them to watch the video because they didn't watch it yet. But most of the time, if they watch the video, you can say, what interested you the most? Get them engaged in the discussion of the content of the video. Answer their questions. Maybe a three-way call is appropriate. Maybe they say, no, I'm not ready to talk to anyone else, but, could you send me a sample? Be happy to send you a sample. So you send a sample of the X39 with the card or the flyer. And so I might say, well, the samples, I'm going to send you a sample today. And I'm also going to send you today an additional video. And we usually send the 3-minute video first and the 18-minute video second. And most of the time when somebody watches the two of those videos, they'll be ready to place an order before their sample ever arrives. The sample is a way of getting their attention and keeping them engaged. It's not a requirement. Many people will join without sampling, but sampling will get the rest that maybe need a little extra nudge. And then your job is to enroll them as a customer or distributor. We're going to talk about that in step 4 of our proven plan of action. So the bottom line, info tells and stories sell. So let's move on to words that work. And there's some suggested things to say and some suggested things not to say. Suggested things to say, historic breakthrough in affordable stem cell technology. Things to also say would be about you're sleeping better. I'm feeling like I'm 10 years younger, my energy, talk about the results you or people you've heard about are experiencing with X39. The things not to say is our products don't heal or cure any disease, okay? This is not what we do here, okay? Stick to the symptoms of aging, not the diseases of the aging process. There's some additional magic phrases from the book, What to Say by Phil Jones. We also talk about a product approach versus a business approach that you can review on your own time. Very valuable. And we talk a little bit about how to use social media. So I encourage you to, again, read through the study guide. It's a self-study guide, and this is your business. So we're here to support you every step of the way. Now, once you start sharing, the step 2 in the sharing caring process is the fortune and the friendship are in the follow-up. So you need to follow up with the people that you've sent the information to, and you show you care by following up. You can ask questions, you can answer questions, learn when to do a 3-way call. If you're new and you've got somebody that's asking questions you can't answer, it's a perfect opportunity to do a 3-way call. And 3-way calling is one of the most powerful tools you have, where you can bring in one of your successful upline leaders to assist you in handling the questions and sometimes objections that you might run into. And it's the best way to train you is by being on the phone with one of your prospects. And know when to send a sample of X39. If they're not ready to enroll after watching the video, you can send a sample, and it's a powerful next step to keep them engaged. Marketing is about engagement, marketing and sales. And you want to keep them engaged, through the process until they've had enough information to make an informed decision. And one of the master tips I learned over the years, this is $1 million success tip: never end one exposure without scheduling the next. So when you're on the call with somebody, when it comes to conclusion, you've identified what the next step is, whether it's sending a sample, whether it's another follow-up call, whether it's a 3-way call, but you always schedule the next call with them. The sooner the better, is just good business practice. Then we have a simple handling objectives technique that you may or may not be familiar with. It's called feel, felt, found. I know how you feel after you've let them express their situation. I understand how you feel. In fact, in some regards, I've felt the same way. I was dealing with some, health issues, nagging, lingering health issues that, my doctor, my naturopath, my chiropractor just didn't give me the relief I needed. But what I found is once I started using the LifeWave products, the X39 patch, man, a lot of those symptoms just melted away. That's the type of, that's how you diffuse people's objections. And another master, and you'll see these success tips all through the guide: listen with the intention of understanding, not with the intention of responding. And that's a habit to break, because most of us humans, when people are talking to us, we're formulating a response while they're talking, as opposed to intensely, sincerely listening with the intention of understanding. As Covey once said, seek first to understand, then to be understood. And then there's some final success tips that I think will be helpful for you. So let's move on to the next step. And wow, we're at step 4 already, because if you share and care enough, somebody's going to say, okay, how do I get started? That's when the fun really begins. Whoopee, you're going to have a new customer or a new distributor. There's really 3 ways to get started with LifeWave: as a retail customer, as a preferred customer, or as a distributor. And we like to say, do you see yourself joining? Is the product just going to be for you, or you think you might be interested in sharing and making some additional supplementary income? And that's really the decision point between customer and distributor. Now, if somebody says, right now I just want to try the product, say, great. Okay. The product costs $149 a month for a month's supply. We have a 90-day money-back guarantee on that initial purchase that you make. So you got nothing to lose and your health to gain. So now, but I can get you a wholesale price, and you can pay the same price I pay, which is $99, can serve you 33% on that purchase. by adding you into our preferred customer program. Now, there is a $19.95 registration fee to become a preferred customer. It's kind of like joining Costco to get the discounts. But you can then save $50 on your first order, which more than pays for that 20. And the company will then automatically start shipping to you each month subsequent to that. The good news is you can quit at any time. There's no long-term commitment required, but you do get that discount. And that usually takes somebody from a retail into a wholesale customer. And that's very fun. And preferred customers are a good, solid foundation for your long-term passive residual income. You'll make $50 profit when you sell a sleeve of X39 retail. You'll make $20 every month when you sign them up as a customer, as a preferred customer. So it's much better that way. So getting new distributors starting right, to me, is really the gold. If customers are silver, distributors are gold. And a friend of mine once said, what would you rather have, a customer or a customer getter? And that's really what distributors are. They're going to go out and be fruitful and multiply. So, one of the things you do with your customer and your distributors is send them the Gift of Good Health flyer, which has our, health tracker on it, and encourage them to get a baseline before they start on the product, and, for the first month, and then monthly for the next 2 to 3 months. We send that same document to our distributors. But in addition to that, if somebody says, I'm ready to get started and I think I want to be a distributor, say, great. Right now, I've got you on the phone. I'm going to go ahead and send you this important document. It's called the Getting Started Option Sheet, and it outlines the difference between the bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and diamond kits, because your job now is to help them find the best fit. What pack is going to fit them best, because everybody's needs, wants, and budget is not the same, okay? So you help them get started, pick the application, pick the pack that fits them best, and then help them enroll on auto ship. Unless you're putting them on the diamond kit, and you can still put them on auto ship and just delay that auto ship for 3 months. But you want to get all of your distributors and all of your customers on auto ship. That's the foundation of our long-term business building block. Then the next step, help them download the app, invite them to Nitty Gritty, have them download the Getting Started Guide. Does this all sound familiar? Listen to this 40-minute overview, and then schedule a Getting Started session. And I'd like to say, for your first few distributors, if you're brand new, you can have someone in your upline that's confident and competent do that Getting Started session with your new people. After they've done it with you and them, after they've done it with 2 or 3 of your new folks, you go, gosh, I think I can do that, because it's kind of a paint by numbers, fill in the blanks process. It's really simplified. So, walk them through the checklist, help them, get on nitty gritty, and success can truly be yours. So, you're going to find an appendix in the back of the Getting Started Guide where you can see the Getting Started option sheet. You can see the daily method of operation sheet, certain gifting support documents, the health tracker, 3 phases of the compensation plan, a lot of cool stuff back there for you. And so just in closing, in completion here, the final success tip, just a reiteration, repetition is the mother of success and skill, right? Here's your 4 steps, whenever you enroll a new distributor on your team. Have them download and start playing with the InTouch app. Plug them into Nitty Gritty 101 and have them download the Getting Started Guide. Then invite them to watch this new distributor orientation and training that you just are finishing and completing right now, and schedule a Getting Started session with them within the next 24 to 72 hours. And like I said, if you're brand new, find one of your upline partners to be on that session with you and to walk through the Getting Started Guidebook to answer the questions and help your new distributors get going. So, wow, that was a lot. And we got it, a little under 40 minutes. We're here at the 35-minute mark. So I'm just going to stop the sharing and wish you the best that life and LifeWave has to offer. You're in business for yourself, not by yourself. Plug into our success system, learn to use the success tools that every proven and successful distributor and leader in LifeWave is using, and success will truly be yours. So thanks, everyone. This is Gregory Mascari from Bozeman, Montana, wishing you well. Bye-bye, everyone.